Hello everyone, this is Guildhall news agency interview, and we are very thankful to Mr. Marko Mihельson, the head of Foreign Affairs Committee of Estonian Parliament. Mr. Marko, we are very thankful for your time. First of all, I would like to start with Mariupol issue because the situation is absolutely horrible. The city is blocked. The city, there is a humanitarian catastrophe in the city. And we are trying, we, the Ukrainians, we are trying to find out somehow to solve the situation, to provide the humanitarian corridor, at least for civilians and wounded soldiers. So going to your political experience, are there any tools to provide this humanitarian corridor to make this pressure on Russia? So up to you, sir. How do you think? Are there any possibilities?
First of all, thank you very much indeed, Taras, having me with you. And we absolutely here in Estonia share that the deal, what you said about Mariupol, we're following very closely, of course, what's happening there, but not only. I guess in many other places in Ukraine right now, people are looking to get help and to get also possibility for humanitarian aid. Unfortunately, I must tell you that while the attacking power, invading power is Russia, then to have any meaningful agreement with Russians on humanitarian corridors or helping out those who are trapped in Mariupol is extremely difficult challenge. We have seen throughout those 50+ days that Russia is not at all ready to help civilians. Instead, they're killing civilians. And I have to tell you that today, Estonian Parliament, just a few hours ago, we adopted a statement on the war crimes and genocide committed by the Russian Federation in Ukraine. It tells you a lot because those crimes and generally speaking also genocide against your people is something what tells you how difficult is to find here possible solution. Yes, international pressure is absolutely important. The international help organizations, humanitarian organizations are active or must be even more active to reach out to Russians as well, to help those out who need urgent help right now. There was an attempt to get a rescue ship to Mariupol to get also people out, but as we know, the Russians made it impossible. So, of course, there is always a hope left, but taking into account the current record of war crimes and genocide Russia is committing in Ukraine is there is very little possibility right now that they are ready to change their policy in Mariupol.
Maybe if, for example, President Macron or President Erdogan, who are like the bridges between democracies and Putin, maybe their influence could help us somehow. How do you think?
I guess both Macron and Erdogan, they have made their efforts, and not only probably them only to find ways. Is there any possibility to make an impact on both Putin or Russian leadership? But it seems that Russia has only one goal right now, not to help people. They have conquered our territories they have occupied, but destroy everything what is standing against them or their occupation plans. So unfortunately, as we see, the town last time I visited Mariupol was late August last year, and I saw how beautiful this city was, and rebuilt and transformed from old Soviet industrial town to a nice place for people to live. Even the front line was very close in Cherokee and our place. But yeah, it's today the only way we today can make any impact is to still keep international pressure on Russia.
You know, another question I would like to ask, going further with our discussion, the question about military aid to Ukraine, because while I'm hearing you, and also before our interview, I understood that the only one tool, the only one way to stop those war crimes, to stop this genocide, is to defeat Putin in Ukraine. And I'll try to be honest. The only one way to defeat Putin is to provide Ukraine with heavy weaponry, to provide Ukraine with anti-aircraft and anti-missile systems, with tanks, with other heavy stuff. I would like to kindly ask, this is a sensitive question, but at least today is the 56th day of Russian war against Ukraine. And Ukraine was not still provided by our Western partners with this heavy weaponry, with this only one tool to defeat Putin in Ukraine. I would like to know, how do you think, why?
First, Estonia has been a leading country, arguing from very beginning, not only in February, but already in December. We made a decision to supply anti-tank weaponry, howitzers, and our ammunition, what we had, and still available to donate for Ukraine. And if countries with much bigger capabilities and stocks of weaponry could do the same as Estonia has done, you could be much better off. But even today here in Estonia...
This is not about Estonia, right? Because you did actually all you can, right? So this is about...
Absolutely. Today in Estonia is a delegation of Verkhovной Rada, and we talked about that, how to mount political pressure on our allies as well in different capitals, from Berlin to Washington and other places. How to make sure that the understanding, as you said correctly, should be there, that only outcome what can be satisfactory for not only Ukraine, but also entire democratic world is the Russian strategic defeat in Ukraine. Ukraine must win this war, must liberate occupied territories, and the way how you can do it is only with the help of your partners and allies from the West. And for that, you need much more than just anti-tank weaponry or Stingers or light weaponry, but you need heavy weaponry, you need attack weaponry, especially in the field of not only air defense, but also helicopters,
artillery,
aircraft, artillery, and anti-artillery capabilities. We have very specific information from your ministry as well, and allies have it. But to answer to your question, why this has been so slow, why in some capitals people still are not yet waking up, like perhaps in Berlin or some other places. The reason, in my understanding, is that there is still very vague understanding about what to do with Russia. I mean, there has not been for years clear strategy in place, and while this has been very slow to come to help to Ukraine, is what there was wrong understanding that Russia is overwhelmingly strong and can destroy Ukraine within a few days, as somebody expected, specifically around Kiev. It didn't realize, and you show your bravery and capability really to fight back Russian armed forces. But the question is that the constant hope that Russia can be dealt as a normal country must be clear for everybody today that this is not the case. This is the country who supports terrorism, who actually commit genocide against Ukrainian people.
Who actually a terrorist state, let's call the,
exactly. Yes, and this is why the only way how we can make sure that they are not threatening the entire world with nuclear weapons, we have to fight back together with you and helping you in this freedom fight and independence war with all kind of weaponry. And believe me, Estonian diplomats, politicians, we work hard together with our allies to make this point known, and also to work for more comprehensive strategy how to stand against this Russian invasion.
Thank you so much for your support and for your long-term strong political position on supporting Ukraine. So just very briefly, one last question which we are interested in is the sanctions issue, and I'm trying to discuss with politicians in different countries this sanctions issue. We understand that the only one way to make enough pressure on Putin's regime is to put an embargo on oil and gas supply from Russia Federation to European Union and other European countries as well. So how do you assess these probabilities, sir? Will we see the political decision, at least political decision, in the nearest time to put this embargo on oil and gas? Please, two different answers about oil and about gas, because these are two different issues.
Absolutely, you're perfectly right that energy sector is the most sensitive area, and that keeps that sort of lifeline today for Russia as well to go ahead with this criminal act against Ukraine. But I think that we are today again one step closer to full embargo than we were last week. Yes, there are several countries who are not yet to make this step, like Hungary or perhaps some other countries who have not yet made their decisions known. But even Germany said today that they are ready by the end of this year to cut off oil deliveries from Russia. Yes, oil is one area, but most critically is gas, because this is in a way a bit more difficult to replace overnight for countries like Germany, Italy, or others. But I see major shift is going on, at least in debates among politicians, diplomats right now. Yes, we would like to see much more sooner the decisions made, but we are moving towards that very important goal to really create full embargo of oil and gas trade with Russia.
Yeah, and we here in Ukraine totally agree, because oil is about money, but gas is about political influence, and both should be cut from Putin's regime. Okay, dear Marco, I'm very thankful for your time and for this, I believe, constructive discussion for European viewers, Ukrainian viewers, and thank you for your time and for your strong political support. Let's go further together.
Thank you, and Slava Ukraini.
Героям слава!